I was at the King David Hotel, and I rolled back to my room unexpectedly when the rest of the group was still on some planned activity, and there was some dude in my room. I'm like, "Hey, man, what are you doing here?"
If you happen to have the Find My Congressman app installed on your iPhone or Android phone, you might be surprised that your congressman is in Israel. They're all in Israel. Megatron. Basically, half of the U.S. Congress is in Israel now. I think
Summer
it's
break,
3/4.
baby.
Summer break in the Holy Land. Mike Johnson today praying at the Western Wall in Israel while wearing a kippah. America is an occupied country.
Mike Johnson, the 56th Speaker of the House of Representatives in America. We're here with a delegation of members of the House. We're so grateful to be in Israel, particularly on this day, recognizing the destruction of the two temples and two times in history. But it is such a moving time for us to be here at the Wailing Wall. We've offered our prayers. We put our notes into the wall as just traditional. And we're so moved by the hospitality of the people and the great love of Israel. Our prayer is that America will always stand with Israel, and that we will we pray for the preservation and the peace of Jerusalem. That's what Scripture tells us to do. It's a matter of faith for us and a commitment that we have. God bless you.
Yeah, now a lot of people look at this ritual of people going to the Wailing Wall and doing this ritual and putting the note in and saying it's a humiliation ritual. It's a sign of submission. I don't see how else you read that. Muslims don't make you go on the Hajj. Christians don't make you, Catholics don't make you take communion. I don't know of any other religious group that does this. Buddhists don't make you come and meditate. Only Israel. I'm not even going to say Jews. Like Jews in general don't make you come to their synagogue and worship. This is purely an Israeli thing, and I don't see how you read it other than as an act of submission. How else do you read people who don't belong to a religion acting out as if they deeply care about the core mythology of this religion? And not, I wouldn't even say this religion. It's a particular nationalistic interpretation of the religion that maintains this ritual of going to this wall and sticking a note in. There's nothing in Judaism about that. This is a unique Israeli ritual that they've connected to the religion as they've connected their parasitic state to the religion. But why would you make people do that who are not of this religion? What is this wall supposed to mean to them? Oh, it's so moving to me. Why? Like, what do you care about it? This isn't your religion. This isn't your history.
No, the worst the Christians ever put me through was they made me pretend that Family Guy is funny. Other than that, nothing like this.
So you
in
got
college,
John's.
all of the goyim made me watch Family Guy,
They made you watch Family
I felt
Guy?
obligated to laugh to try and fit in, to hide my contempt for them. So that's the closest thing to a humiliation ritual that the Christians ever put me through.
Well, when they really want you to hate yourself, they make you watch It's a Wonderful Life.
Right. Well, What's a Wonderful Life is actually not bad. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean that I could stomach
bad.
that.
Well, it's culture destroying.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's the weapon when they want to blast the Jew out of you. They make you watch It's a Wonderful Life. Look at all those slim, healthy goyim under the Christmas tree.
They're so nice and wholesome. They're so innocent.
Look at my people fighting. I want to be like those people.
Look how nicely their sweaters fit. Look at all that form-fitting clothing.
Look at those noses, not a hook among them.
Yeah, right.
Johnson, Judea, Samaria belong to Israel by right. This is Harrison H. Smith. Bethlehem, Jesus' birthplace, was under Muslim rule for nearly 1,200 years, from 637 to 1947. During that time, the Christian population never went below 85%. In the 77 years since Israel was founded, that has dropped to just 10%. Mike Johnson is working with Israel to make it 0%. Now, the more you look at this, the more you realize everything you've ever been taught is the exact opposite of reality. You have been taught, we have all been taught, if you're from the West, any Western countries, chances are you've been taught that the Muslim world is made up of savage, backward, medieval, intolerant theocrats. So how is that possible? How is it possible that for over 1,000 years, a majority Christian population was able to live within Muslim-controlled lands? How is that possible if what we've been told is true? We did a whole segment showing Israelis spitting on the Christians. I believe it was Gallant who went on TV, the security minister, and said it's a custom. That shouldn't be a crime. I mean, it's a bad enough problem that the minister of security needed to comment on it. Rabbis were giving out leaflets asking them not to do it anymore because it's going to lose them support for the war in Gaza. Not because it's wrong, but because it's going to lose them support. So clearly what we've been told, that the Israelis are the democratic, ecumenical, open to all cultures and religions people, and the Muslims are the intolerant barbarians. Based on the numbers, it's exactly the opposite regarding religion, right? They were because Christians to Muslims are people of the book, as are Jews. There's a Jew in the Iranian parliament.
Right.
How is that possible if what we've been told is true? That would be impossible, right? They would never allow it. Well, here's why Mike Johnson's going to set all that aside, along with many of his co-Congress people, senators, people in the government. It's a lot of cheddar there. That's a lot of latkes that he's getting from AIPAC, from Track AIPAC, $784,588 received from the pro-Israel lobby. Now, Matt Gaetz went on with our friend Glenn Greenwald and told a very interesting story about going to Israel as a congressman.
On that AIPAC trip, I went on subsequent trips, and there is an actual downward pressure from the leadership and even the committee chairs. Like if you're on the Foreign Affairs Committee, if you're on the Armed Services Committee, if you're on the Intelligence Committee, there's like an expectation that you go there and some sort of like, I don't know, congressional Hajj. And I remember being at I'll never go back. I was at the King David Hotel and I rolled back to my room unexpectedly when the rest of the group was still on some planned activity. And there was some dude in my room. I'm like, hey man, what are you doing here? And he acted like he was associated with the hotel and taking an inventory, but had no clipboard. And so, yeah, there's a lot of reasons why they want members of Congress over there. And it is ideologically to steep them in this notion that the protection of Israel is of great import to people in America. But it's really not that important to voters. And that is becoming more clear on the right and left.
All right, so he was questioned about this, and this is how he responded. This absolutely happened. I explained these events to my family in case something went awry with me. My air quotes, not his.
Yeah.
I reported this to, I wonder what he could mean by that. I reported this to my committee leadership at the time and was told it was regular and I should never leave anything meaningful in my hotel room abroad as a member of Congress. So you might remember Thomas Massey went on with Tucker Carlson and talked about how everybody has an AIPAC handler.
But me has an AIPAC person.
What's that mean, an AIPAC person?
It's like your babysitter, your AIPAC babysitter, who is always talking to you for AIPAC. They're probably a constituent in your district, but they are firmly embedded in AIPAC, and
every member has something like this?
That's how it works on the Republican side. And when they come to DC, you go have lunch with them, and they've got your cell number, and you have conversations with them.
That's absolutely crazy.
I've had 4 members of Congress say, I'll talk to my AIPAC person, and it's literally what we call them, my AIPAC guy. I'll talk to my AIPAC guy and see if I can get him to dial those ads back.
Why have I never heard this before?
Why would they want to tell their constituents that they've basically got a buddy system with somebody who's representing a foreign country? It doesn't benefit the congressman for people to know that, so they're not going to tell you that.
when you go to Israel, they put underage pussy in your hotel room. That's how they get you, Tucker.
You go to sleep with the Bible, you wake up with a 12-year-old.
Exactly, yeah.
So now when Matt Gaetz was a congressman, well, he was whistling a different tune. Here he is with Bibi. Earlier this week, I had the opportunity to meet with Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu while visiting the nation of Israel. I am a big fan. Hashtag stand with Israel. Well, I guess coming back to your hotel room, finding a guy dressed up as a creepy clown in there, rifling through your stuff will do that to you, especially if you're worried that there might be a mishap on your trip.
Yeah.
So
you get
this
the polonium
is,
toothpick on your nightstand there in the hotel room. Yeah.
Exactly. So I think this was 2019 and 2020 that he tweeted these things out. Proud to stand with the Bukharian Jewish community tonight in the Capitol. I'll always support our Jewish communities and our strong ally, hashtag Israel. And there's another one, probably the most extreme of them. The BDS movement is blatantly anti-Semitic and constantly targets businesses operating in Israel. I'm proud to serve a state that has stringent anti-BDS laws. Okay, so now you could say, well, all right, now, as many, I think certainly many Zionists would say this, that now that he's making his money podcasting and being a host on, what is he on now? Newsmax or OAN?
OAN, I think it's OAN.
He's on OAN. So he sees it as to his advantage to take this line, but he was saying something else when it was to his advantage. That, and that certainly may be the case. I am inclined to believe there's another explanation for why he's speaking out about Israel now and speaking very differently than he did when he was in Congress. John Kiriakou recently did an interview about how everyone hates the Israelis. Even people who start out liking the Israelis end up hating the Israelis. I think that may be the explanation. Let's listen to a little bit of this.
Met anybody at the CIA who was pro-Israel. Never.
Not one.
Not a single person. No, not a single person. And it's because they make it so hard to like them. If we're supposed to be their best friends, we have this special relationship. Well, I'll tell you the same story I told Danny Jones. I worked with this guy for years, and he married a woman in the office. Really terrific people, both of them. Terrific people. And when I was going out to Bahrain on my rotation to the State Department, the wife was going out to Jerusalem because she got the same rotation to the State Department. So because she had worked with the Israelis for many years, the station decided to declare the two of them to the Israelis. So they land and they go straight to Mossad, and the chief said, these are my officers. She's on rotation to the State Department, and he's just going to study Arabic at the University of Tel Aviv. Right? No harm. So they're there for a little while. They go to a party at the ambassador's residence, and they come home, and all of their living room furniture had been rearranged. And they were like, not cool. But this is what the Israelis do. They break in the house, they rearrange all your furniture just to say, fuck you, we can do anything we want. So they're there working, months pass, they're having a good time. They go to the ambassador's Christmas party. Now they're
So basically, Israel is the Manson family of countries.
Yeah.
This is something the Manson family used to do. They would break before they killed anyone. As practice, they started breaking into houses and rearranging all the furniture to freak people out when they got home. So Israel got it from the Mansons. Maybe the Mansons got it from the IDF.
Maybe
they got their training from them.
They're living in Jerusalem. The embassy at the time was in Tel Aviv. And so it's about a 30 or 40-minute drive to get from one city to the other. They come home at the end of the party, and people had taken shits in all of their toilets in their house. Every toilet had shit in it. Not cool. They're not doing anything. They're not working against the Israelis. They're just doing normal stuff. He's studying Arabic. She's just in the embassy's economic section or whatever. And then when their tour was over, 2-year tour, the ambassador threw a going away party for them, which is a normal thing. And they get back to the house, and the dog is under the dining room table whimpering because somebody had cut the dog's tail off.
Jesus
And
Christ.
they wrapped it with gauze and with medical tape.
That took a turn.
You know, why would you do something like that? What do you hope to gain except to make us hate you? You know, if you're trying to win friends and influence people, that's really not the way you're going to want to go. So now here are these people who, if anything, were, moderately supportive of the Israelis, who came home only with bitterness and hatred toward the Israelis for this harassment that lasted for 2 years. Why? Why would you do that? What do you hope to accomplish?
Yeah. So these people are sick fucks. So why would Matt Gaetz talk this way? Clearly, obviously, he has a freedom he didn't have as a congressperson. And added to that is probably that all of these people hate Israel. They hate the Israelis because they are sick, psychopathic, murderous assholes that turn off everyone who has any real experience with them. So Gaetz now, he's not in Congress. He's not getting that AIPAC money. Yes, I think that, he's saying something different now because it's in his self-interest. At the same time, I think there's a genuine hatred of the Israelis behind it, and he's happy to be able to finally actually tell the truth about what he experienced dealing with these people. The same kind of people who would break in his hotel room of a congressman in a very blatant way like that are the same kind of people who would do the kind of thing that Kyriakou describes in that story.
Well, this is it's consistent with all of these reports that we see, no matter who the president is. I mean, we saw reports of Trump getting into fights with Netanyahu. We heard reports of Biden fighting with Netanyahu and Obama fighting with Netanyahu. I mean, I have no doubt that those are all true, right? It doesn't mean anything if they just carry out whatever aims he directs them to, which they do. On a personal level, no, they all can't stand the prick. It's obvious. It's obvious that no one likes him. Like, they'll do what they have to do to make them happy, apparently, but they don't like them. No, that's pretty obvious. So, that story makes total sense, what Matt Gaetz said. I mean, I don't doubt that for a second. It's bizarre shit. And
or what Kyriakou says.
No, because it all tracks with what Massey said. Like, it all makes sense. When you put it all together, there's not even there's not even really anything to unpack there. It's all pretty surface level, according to what they're saying. Like, all of it reinforces, each piece of video reinforces every other one.
Right.
It makes total sense.
Yeah, you have an intelligence state built around a victimhood complex with an absolute sense of impunity. You put all that together, you create monsters.
Right. You don't mind I shit in your bathroom? It's okay, right? It's okay, is it?
Wait until they get home. They're going to see the shit. They're going to go, what?
Yeah, right.
What?
Please clap.